Sunlight filtered down onto the school grounds, blue hair fluttering in the wind. The fragrance of April, as the green grass and trees gradually grew dense. At this moment, I was supposed to be sitting in my introduction to the basic principles of Marxism class, drinking boba cream black tea with my roommate. Lynn Rand was exhausted and trembling all over, but right now she was stuck in the school gate's frame. Angrily, she screamed, "Why did it come to this?" Lynn Rand looked around, both miserable and regretful. I shouldn't have tried to squeeze through this railing just to save time. Luckily, I came early today, and no one has come to play ball yet. It's truly a blessing in disguise. Should I call a friend to rescue me? Suddenly, she thought of something. Wait, images of being laughed at kept appearing. Because there were many precedents, if that group of friends came to save me, they would definitely take pictures. The more she thought about it, the more furiously Lynn Rand pulled at the iron frame. I can't let them keep any more of my precious photos. But the iron frame didn't budge at all. The more she thought, the sadder Lynn Rand became. If I could get out easily, I wouldn't have been stuck here for so long. She could only comfort herself. Come on, I believe you can do it. If you can get in, you can get out. You can definitely get out while no one is here yet. Just then, Shun Hongha walked over and spoke. "Classmate, it's useless." Hearing these words, Lynn Rand froze on the spot. She tried to defend herself. "It's fine. I'm just exercising." Even though she said that, looking at the person in front of her, a wave of shame washed over her. Shun Hongha, who often appeared on the school's physics department forum every year, the campus god Shun Hongha. Why did he appear here, and what is he wearing? Hearing her words, Shun Hongha turned to leave. "Then I'll be going." Lynn Rand waved her hand to call him back. "Don't go." Her voice was full of grievance. "I'm sorry, classmate Shun. I was wrong. I'm begging you to help me." As she finished speaking, Shun Hongha stopped, the corner of his lips curling into a slight smile. As soon as he turned back, he saw Lynn Rand smiling shyly. "Classmate Shun, are you here to exercise?" Shun Hongha teased back. "We'll talk about that later. How long do you plan on staring at me?" Lynn Rand's eyes sparkled. "Just a little longer will do." Shun Hongha became serious. "All right, I'll help you get out, but you have to answer some questions for me." Hearing this, she nodded repeatedly, murmuring, "Amma Bodhisattva, thank you." Suddenly, she saw Shun Hongha taking off his shirt. Lynn Rand was startled and shouted, "What are you doing?" He gritted his teeth and yelled, "Close your eyes." Lynn Rand said tremblingly, "I'm warning you, this is a society ruled by law. You can't." Now, she only saw Shun Hongha using his shirt to pull the 2 iron bars, and then Lynn Rand was able to squeeze her head out. She was stunned for a moment, then bowed deeply. "I am sorry. I misunderstood." "Thank you." Shun Hongha turned back coldly and said, "My question's for you." Lynn Rand's face lit up. "Okay, go ahead and ask. How long have you been stuck here?" Hearing that, she answered honestly, 1 hour and 32 minutes. This rather surprised Shun Hongha. That precise? Lynn Rand sadly pointed to the food in front of her. "I ordered a boba cream black tea. It has the time on it, but in the end, I still couldn't save the cream." He lamented for a moment, a real pity indeed. "So, did you see where I came from?" Lynn Rand replied, "I didn't. I was busy trying to save myself. I just saw you appear suddenly." Shun Hongha's eyes darkened. Appeared suddenly, he thought back. "That's right, I really did suddenly appear here. Just a moment ago, I was clearly in my dorm practicing. The next second I flew here and met this girl." At this moment, Lynn Rand looked at her phone worriedly. "Oh my God, the Marxism class is about to end." Seeing her expression, Shun Hongha silently assessed, but it seems she's not very smart. It's probably not related to her. Just then, Lynn Rand said, "Classmate Shun, do you have any more questions? If not, I'll be going first." Shun Hongha was still lost in his thoughts. Spatial replacement, quantum transport. Lynn Rand walked a short distance, then turned back. "Oh, right," she smiled and advised. "You should hurry back to the dorm to change your clothes. No matter how nice your body is, you still need to keep warm. Avoid catching a cold. The spring chill can come at any time this season." Hearing those words, Shun Hongha was momentarily stunned. A fool who doesn't look like a fool. Watching her retreating figure, he sighed, "I forgot to ask for her name. Oh well, in order to clarify the supernatural phenomenon that happened today, I'll have to find her later to ask for some specific data. I'll ask then." Back at the men's dormitory, as soon as he entered the room, Shun Hongha started sneezing continuously. The others saw this and all peeked outside to look. Just then, one person spoke up and asked, "It's so early in the morning, and Brother Shun has already been on outing?" The one with glasses next to him clicked his tongue teasingly. You came back looking like this? Annoyed, Shan Honghe ignored the two of them. But how did I get out just now? Did you guys hear the door open? The three of them shook their heads blankly. The blondie scratched his head and said, now that you mention it, I remember. I'm closest to the door, and it seems I really didn't hear anything. Shin Honghe said as he put on his shirt, I'm going to the library for a bit. I won't be sleeping here tonight. His heart was full of questions. I must get to the bottom of this. As soon as he stepped onto the school grounds, a female student stood before him with a shy expression. Senior, I like you. Shin Honghe looked down coldly at the letter. Sorry, I don't have such intentions. The girl waved her hands in confusion. It's okay. All right, senior, I'm a new student from the landscape architecture department. Your physique is very nice. If there's a chance next time, I'd like to ask you to be my model. At this, Shin Honghe's face turned red as he stared at the letter being handed to him. As expected, just wearing a tank top during the day, I was still seen by others. Then he replied shyly, let's talk about another day. But none of this is important. I still have things to do. I'll be going first. Shin Honghe walked away, still wondering, I must figure out why that supernatural phenomenon occurred today. Over on Lin Ran's side, she was scrolling through Weibo when a picture of Shin Honghe appeared. Embarrassed, Lin Ran repeatedly buried her head in her pillow and screamed. Her roommate saw this and asked worriedly, what's wrong? You just missed Marxism class. There's no need to go crazy like that. Lin Ran whispered through her tears, I've wronged the campus god. She showed her phone to her roommate. I'm the one who wronged the campus god. Her friend's eyes lit up when she saw the picture, her voice becoming excited. What does this have to do with you? My dear sister, explain it clearly. Lin Ran then gestured wildly as she recounted the incident. After a while, her friend, with shining eyes, summarized the story. So basically, Campus Beau Shun enthusiastically did a good deed, saving you from the railing, just like in an idol drama. Isn't that great? Lin Ran sighed and said, what's so great about it? Have you ever seen an idol drama where the female lead meets the male lead because her head got stuck in a railing? Hearing this, her friend nudged her lightly. Hey, don't you know Shin Honghe is famous for being cold? A campus god this handsome and cold unexpectedly risked himself to save you. Embarrassed, Lin Ran quickly covered her friend's mouth, her voice becoming hurried. The more you talk, the more ridiculous it sounds. I don't think he's like that. He's just a little cold on the outside, but he's actually very righteous. Her friend looked skeptical. Why do you talk as if you know Shin Honghe so well? Flustered, Lin Ran began to explain. Last time I saw, there was this one time I suddenly got interested in skateboarding, so I started practicing on my own. But I didn't expect a skateboard to be so fast. Just by putting one foot on it, I almost went flying. Lin Ran's whole body lunged forward and hugged Shin Honghe. When she came to her senses, she quickly pushed him away. Shin Honghe asked coolly, classmate, are you all right? Flustered, Lin Ran said, I'm fine, sorry. He replied, it's good that you're fine. The surrounding students saw this and all laughed mockingly. So funny, so embarrassing. Another student walked up to Shin Honghe. Brother Shun, don't you think that scene just now is hilarious? Lin Ran suppressed her embarrassment and picked up her skateboard. At that moment, she also clearly heard Shin Honghe's reply. It's easy to fall when skateboarding. What's so funny about that? From then on, I saw Shin Honghe as a role model to learn from. A person who handles situations so calmly. On my 22nd birthday, I made a wish upon a shooting star, hoping to be like Shin Honghe, to not panic in the face of trouble, to be able to face even death calmly. The more she thought, the more Lin Ran sighed. But now it seems that wish I made during the meteor shower didn't come true at all. Hearing this, her friend became even more excited and a series of love stories were deduced. What are you talking about, little Ran? I can't believe you had such a chance encounter. Isn't that so romantic? Suddenly, Lin Ran sat bolt upright. Let's not talk about that anymore. Hurry up and lend me your notes from the Marxism class. The next day in the research lab, Shin Honghe was still engrossed in researching the sudden appearance. Last night, he searched almost the entire library and still couldn't find any information related to instantaneous displacement. Could it really have been a hallucination? Logically, it probably wasn't. I specifically went to the hospital for a checkup today. The report shows I have no neurological problems. All my body's indicators are normal. The more he thought, the more he couldn't explain it with science. But I'm certain that instantaneous displacement happened to me. A classmate saw Shin Honghe looking distracted and silently marveled how rare Brother Shun is actually spacing out while taking notes. But Shun Honghe was still immersed in his own world. There must be a trigger condition that I haven't thought of. What on earth is that hidden variable? Suddenly, Shun Honghe was standing on the wall. Lin Ran saw this and was overjoyed. Isn't this classmate Shun? Why are you here? Not long before, Lin Ran had set up a ladder to climb over. Just as she peeked her head over the wall, a cat was startled and meowed. It leaped down, accidentally knocking over the ladder. She looked at the cat and sighed helplessly, then looked down at the fallen ladder and became even more dejected. Ancestor cat, it's my fault for disturbing your sleep, but you didn't have to cut off my escape route, did you? After that, Lin Ran still decided to climb down. Whatever, I'm late for class. Lin Ran swung her legs a few times, but couldn't reach the ladder. She was startled and panicked. Oh my, where did the ladder on this side go? She quickly made a phone call. Qianyi, hurry and come save me. Hearing Lin Ran's story, Qianyi on the other end burst out laughing. Classmate Lin Ran, you're so unlucky. She cried miserably. That's strange. I saw the ladder here when I passed by a few days ago. Qianyi then said, the Red Flag Brigade already discovered this bug. Didn't you see the school's announcement? Then Qianyi frantically instructed, oh no, class starts in 15 minutes. The Red Flag Brigade is starting their patrol. You have to hold on. Don't get caught at this critical moment. They'll definitely make an example out of you. I'm coming to save you right now. Lin Ran burst into miserable tears. I can't hold on much longer. Thank you. She thought to herself, it'll take Qianyi at least 20 minutes to get to me. By the time she arrives, I'll probably have been caught. Just as she was thinking of a solution, Shun Honghe appeared. Lin Ran exclaimed in surprise. Classmate Shun, why are you here? Shun Honghe also asked in confusion. I'd also like to ask why I'm here. Did you see how I got up here? Lin Ran hurriedly said. We can talk about that later. The Red Flag Brigade is about to start their patrol. If they find us clinging to the wall, we'll definitely be reported. Let's get down first. Shun Honghe looked around in confusion. Where do you want to go down? Lin Ran wailed miserably. I don't have a choice. I can't hold on anymore. Classmate Shun, hurry up. Then Shun Honghe gently pushed off the wall with his foot, jumped lightly, and landed. Seeing this, Lin Ran praised him inwardly. Classmate Shun is so talented. Then he opened his arms. Come down. I'll catch you. Lin Ran blushed. Then you have to hold on to me tight. Then she shut her eyes tightly, taking the risk. Then she let go of her grip, risking it. Shun Honghe quickly caught her in his arms. Then Lin Ran quickly backed away. She bowed again to thank him. Classmate Shun, I will never forget your great kindness. At this moment, Shun Honghe said, all right, let's get down to business now. Lin Ran was confused. All right, let's get down to business. Didn't you climb up here yourself? Suddenly, the cat from before returned. It meowed again, causing Lin Ran to remember and exclaim. That's right. Logically speaking, there are no ladders on either side. Could it be that you teleported? Shun Honghe rubbed his chin and said, I'm afraid that's really the case. I think you probably can't accept it, but the undiscovered nature of space and matter is inherently. Hearing the mention of physics, Lin Ran quickly waved her hands and cried out, Stop! I'm trying to process this. Don't rush into saying things I don't understand. Then she immediately asked, So last time, you weren't working out in the woods, but were suddenly transported there? Shun Honghe sighed helplessly. Do you think anyone would wear a tank top to lift weights in the woods? Besides, I'm not even from your department. Lin Ran thought to herself, that makes sense. Seeing him deep in thought, she hesitantly asked again, So, do you know the reason yet? Not yet for now, but it seems I'm missing an important factor. Shun Honghe looked straight at Lin Ran. You. She was startled and pointed at herself. What? Lin Ran asked blankly. Are you talking about me? Am I that important? How come I don't know anything? Shun Honghe stated his opinion. Last time, the experimental data was too limited, so there were still many uncertainties. Now a second displacement has occurred, and you were present both times. Therefore, I feel I need you as a reference data point. Hearing that, she praised him inwardly. So that's what he means? As expected of the physics department's god. Suddenly, Lin Ran remembered the night she prayed under the shooting stars. Then she said excitedly, Maybe I know the reason. Classmate Shun, have you ever heard the rumor that wishes made upon a shooting star will come true? Hearing that, Shun Honghe was completely baffled. Didn't you study geography in middle school? Being told that, Lin Ran blushed with embarrassment. She answered loudly, Of course I studied it. Then she recounted the event again. Basically, on my birthday, I made a wish. I hoped that whenever I encounter embarrassing situations, I could remain as calm as you. After listening, Shun Hongha immediately explained the scientific phenomenon. A shooting star is merely the phenomenon of cosmic dust particles, under the influence of Earth's gravity, burning up and glowing due to intense friction with atmospheric molecules. There is no scientific basis to link this with human wishes. Lin Ran then asked, "So, the situation just now where you suddenly appeared, do you think that's scientific?" Shun Hongha remained silent. Then Lin Ran leaned close to his ear and whispered, "Have you ever heard of summoning jutsu? Like Cardcaptor or Pikachu?" As she said this, the bell for class rang. Lin Ran hurriedly waved goodbye. "It's time for class. I'm leaving first. If I get caught, I'm dead for sure." Shin Hongha placed a piece of paper on the table. "Please recall the content of your wish that day and write it on here." Lin Ran thought for a long time. Writing it down is no problem, but now she has to write it for her idol to see. She felt a bit embarrassed. Oh well, simplifying it a bit should be fine. A moment later, she handed the paper back to Shun Hongha. He immediately read it out loud. "Almighty Star, I am Lin Ran. Please help me so that in the future, whenever I encounter any difficult situation, I can handle it calmly like Shin Hongha from our school, unfazed by anything. Please." Seeing this, Lin Ran shouted in embarrassment, "Don't read it out loud." Reading to the end, Shun Hongha wondered, what is that string of numbers at the end? Lin Ran didn't dare to face him directly. She fidgeted with her fingers in embarrassment. What if someone has the same name? I wrote down my ID number for more convenient and precise targeting. This is called the high-efficiency wishing method. Hearing that, he was speechless. Then Shin Hongha asked for her contact information. "Right, give me your contact information. I still need to look into this matter a bit. If I need more information, I'll have to trouble you. It's getting late. That's all for today." Sitting on the train back, Lin Ran was deep in thought. Let's check Godshin's social media feed to see what he usually posts. As soon as she opened it, she saw his physics proof. Time travel or rebirth novels, in essence, cannot truly allow one to return. If the past is changed, the result of that change will create another possibility, thus bringing along a parallel timeline. This is an argument from quantum mechanics theory. After reading it, Lin Ran was not disappointed. It was indeed very much his style. On Shun Hongha's side, he was also scrolling through his phone. It seems her usual luck isn't very good. Shin Hongha scrolled through some of Lin Ran's posts, from the post about a new dish in the cafeteria, "I've taste tested it for you guys," to a new member who just topped up their card, "What to do if the owner has run off?" Don't be afraid. I've helped everyone draft a detailed procedure for filing a lawsuit. Then to my phone fell into the water, but I still have a backup phone. I'm so resourceful. The more he looked, the more he marveled, but why is she always so cheerful? Truly an interesting girl. At this moment, the blonde-haired friend opposite him pulled back the curtain and asked, "Brother Shun, didn't you say you weren't coming back today?" Shun Hongha replied that, "I happened to be taking a walk nearby, so I came back to sleep." After hearing this, the blonde guy was full of suspicion. "Brother Shun, are you hiding something from everyone?" He felt a pang of guilt and forced a smile. Why the sudden question? The blonde guy immediately pointed at him and shouted, "Stop pretending. Which department is she from? Confess honestly, you've been smiling so brightly this whole time. To think someone could make a sago palm like you bloom." Shin Hongha pretended to be flustered and turned away. Then he teased the blonde guy. "Actually, there's a test tomorrow, and someone's about to be doomed." After hearing that, the blonde guy shouted and then cried helplessly, "Brother Shun, you're bullying me, you just wait." Shin Hongha continued to scroll through Lin Ran's social media feed. Over on Lin Ran's side, Qianyi sighed as she walked. 15 sketching steps. I don't know how I'm going to finish drawing them all. Right now, I just want to go back to the dorm and have a good sleep. Ran, let's go. Hearing that, Lin Ran immediately agreed. Okay. Suddenly, she saw something on her phone. Seeing this, Qianyi leaned over and asked, "What trouble have you gotten into now?" Her eyes sparkled. Then Lin Ran replied while pulling Qianye's hand and running. "Let's go to the second cafeteria first. They have sweet and sour pork ribs today. Let's see how lucky you are. By the time you get there, they'll probably be sold out." But Lin Ran didn't give up. What if there's a miracle this time? Let's hurry. As soon as they entered, there was a long line of people waiting. Look, with this many people, how long will we have to wait? Lin Ran still tried to squeeze in. "It's okay, for my beloved ribs. I'm willing to wait in this line." But soon, that enthusiasm was gone. Lin Ran sighed. I'm about to faint from hunger. I ran too fast just now. I've run out of energy. Chinny took the opportunity to criticize her. With your physical fitness, you still try to show off. I told you that you should go jogging with me every night. Lin Ran waved her hand, refusing. No need. Why do you sound just like Teat Truck? Suddenly, Chinny saw someone. Who's that? Lin Ran replied. He's a physical education major at our school. Didn't you go to watch a few of his basketball games before? At this point, Chinny turned to leave and patted Lin Ran's shoulder. Forget it. Wasting time here with you is getting us nowhere. I'll go to another counter to buy you something to fill your stomach first. Lin Ran shyly put her hands together. Thank you, my female bodhisattva. A long time later, she only managed to move one step forward. Lin Ran gradually became listless. Why does it feel like this line hasn't moved at all? I'm so hungry. A scent wafted over. This smell is, she looked on, craving it. Corn and pork rib soup. Lin Ran, disregarding her image, sniffed the aroma. Just as I expected, this soup smells delicious. Suddenly, she snapped out of it. Wait, Chinny, standing behind, was also petrified upon seeing this. Ran. Lin Ran came to her senses, her face gloomy. This bowl of soup seems to belong to someone else. Behind her, Chinny tried to speak loudly. Ran, are you crazy with hunger? Lin Ran also looked up blankly at Shun Hongha. Why is it you? Lin Ran laughed awkwardly to smooth things over. This soup is a bit sweet. Seeing this, Shun Hongha offered the bowl of soup to her. If you like it, you can have it. Don't worry. I haven't eaten from this bowl. She accepted it shyly. Thank you. I'll pay you back. Hearing this, Shun Hongha pointed forward. So you still want to line up here for soup? Lin Ran was only then startled and exclaimed, What? Isn't this line for sweet and sour ribs? Chinny walked over helplessly. I was just about to tell you. When I came back, I realized this line is for kelp and apple pork rib soup. After hearing this, Lin Ran felt even more miserable. My sweet and sour ribs. At this moment, Shun Hongha made a suggestion. If you want to eat sweet and sour ribs, then come over and eat with us. My roommate has already gotten some. It just so happens I have something to ask you. Hearing this, Chinny got all excited. Let's go. This is an invitation from the campus god. Just looking at his face is enough to make me eat another bowl. After that, the four of them awkwardly sat at the same table. Everyone was focused on eating without a sound. Lin Ran silently lamented. It's so quiet. Suddenly, the blonde-haired guy said quietly, Brother Shun, aren't you going to introduce us? Then he looked across, his eyes unable to hide his surprise. Wait a minute, isn't this the soup I just got for Brother Shun? How did it end up in her hands? I get it. Thinking this, the blonde-haired guy shot up and said loudly, Hello, sister-in-law. Shun Hongha shot him a cold glance. What nonsense are you talking about? Lin Ran was also stunned and waved her hands dismissively. After that, Shun Hongha took out a piece of paper. I prepare a new questionnaire, classmate Lin Ran. If you have time, could you fill it out? Lin Ran replied while munching. Can I eat and write at the same time? The ribs won't be good if they get cold. All right. The other two couldn't help but be surprised seeing this. This is the first time Brother Shun has been so considerate of someone, and a girl at that. If there's nothing unusual going on, I'll wash my hair while doing a handstand. Campus God Shun is actually so concerned about Ran. Since when have these two been like this? Shun Hongha ignored the other two's reactions. He spoke up. I'll ask and you answer. Okay, I still need to go to the lab. When was your most recent birthday? Lin Ran answered without thinking, March 20th. I think I ate a durian milk crepe cake. Hearing this, he asked for an explanation, a little more detail. Specifically, the hour, minute, and second the meteor shower appeared. After thinking for a moment, Lin Ran couldn't remember. It's been so long. Who could possibly remember that? Shun Hongha said seriously again, regarding this issue of yours. I must understand it clearly, and the more detailed, the better. Lin Ran tried to meet his request. Okay, let me try to remember carefully. Once I remember, I'll tell you right away. Then I'll be going first. Goodbye. As he spoke, he stood up and left. Lin Ran politely said goodbye back. Goodbye. Thank you for the ribs. As soon as Shun Hongha left, Chinny leaned in close to Lin Ran and asked, Are you and Campus Godshin that familiar already? Is he trying to pursue you? Lin Ran immediately denied it. No way. Then she turned back to continue eating her ribs. He's just doing an experiment. He needs me to provide information for reference. You're overthinking it. Chinny was still unconvinced, but there are clearly so many people. Why does it have to be you? On Shun Hongha's side, the blonde-haired guy followed behind, nagging continuously. Brother Shen, my lips are the tightest. Really, just tell me, was that Lin Ran, just now our future sister-in-law? Shun Honghe walked away hurriedly. Don't talk nonsense. I just need her help to provide information to improve my experiment. Seeing this, the blonde-haired guy quickly chased after him. Brother Shun, wait for me. Since when did we need someone to provide information? Back at the girls' dormitory, Chinny excitedly showed her phone over. Hey Ran, look at this. There are two theories being proposed now. One is that you're shamelessly pursuing Shun Honghe, that you finally managed to get a chance to eat with him after much difficulty. And the other one says that Shun Honghe has taken a liking to you and is pursuing you. At this point, Qian Yi teased slyly, quite a lot of people support the second theory, you know? Lin Ran immediately blushed. What nonsense are you talking about? She quickly sat up. Help me explain on the forum. This is really just a misunderstanding. Suddenly, a message arrived. Are you in the dormitory? Regarding that matter, there's an issue I need to find you for. I'm on my way there. After reading it, Lin Ran immediately replied. No need. Let's meet at the milk tea shop near the school gate. Elsewhere, the blonde-haired guy probed. What's up, Brother Shun? Weren't you going to find classmate Lin? Shun Honghe replied. She said to meet at the milk tea shop near the school gate. He was full of questions. Why meet at a milk tea shop? Isn't it more convenient to talk directly downstairs from the dormitory? The blonde-haired guy was speechless after hearing this. He face-bombed and explained, Oh, Brother Shun, sometimes I really hate how dense you are. If you need someone's help, meeting in a milk tea shop means she wants you to treat her to a drink. This is basic human interaction. How can you not understand it? Hearing that, Shun Honghe left. Understood. Then we're not going the same way. I'm going ahead. The blonde-haired guy was satisfied and secretly gave a thumbs up. Okay, you go. Brother Shun almost messed things up. Good thing I was here. As expected of me, later at the milk tea shop, Lin Ran entered, panting, I'm so sorry. I'm late. Shin Honghe said understandingly. It's okay, I just arrived too. Then he offered a cup of milk tea. Here. Lin Ran happily took it and took a sip. How did you know I like this? Shun Honghe immediately said, the first time we met, this was what you were holding in your hand. Hearing this, she was reminded of that embarrassing moment. Thanks. I'd rather people not remember things like that. After that, he got straight to the point. Right, I want to take a look around the place where you made your wish. Hearing this, Lin Ran immediately agreed. Okay, I'm free anytime. When are you planning to go? As soon as she finished, Shun Honghe slung his backpack on. If that's the case, then let's go now. I've seen your class schedule. It just so happens you don't have class this afternoon. If we leave now, we can probably get there tonight. I've also already prepared a place to rest on the mountain. Hearing this, Lin Ran was surprised and asked again. You saw it. How did you see it? He said nonchalantly, I just went online and asked someone. Lin Ran immediately recalled Qian Ye's words and mumbled, I think I know why the second theory exists now. Shin Honghe didn't hear clearly and asked again, what theory? Nothing. After that, the two of them quickly arrived at the waterfall. As soon as she got off the bike, Lin Ran was surprised. I didn't expect you to know how to ride a motorcycle. Shun Honghe treated it as normal. It's nothing. Motorcycles are easy to park, and there are fewer restrictions. At this moment, Lin Ran exclaimed, Look, it's so beautiful. Seeing this, Shun Honghe once again applied his physics knowledge to explain. These colors are created by the atmosphere scattering sunlight, even though the sun has set. For a certain period, sunlight will still be scattered in all directions in the atmosphere. Therefore, at this point, Lin Ran cut him off. All right, classmate Shun. Then she said, the sun is about to set. Shouldn't we set up the tent first? After all, we have to spend the night here. Lin Ran took out a drink and asked, do you want some Coke? Shun Honghe glanced at it and refused. No, thank you. Then he sighed and said, you just finished a cup of milk tea 2 hours ago. Too much sugar isn't good. Plus, drinking carbonated drinks can easily cause cavities. After hearing this, Lin Ran quickly lamented. I know all of this, but I can't give these things up. Shun Honghe didn't argue with her. Then don't give it up. Just have it in moderation. Seeing this, Lin Ran was surprised. I thought you would get angry. At this moment, he smiled and explained, no, I just find your reaction a bit strange. Previously, when I said this to other people, they wouldn't say much back one time. Someone said I was too controlling, just like their mother. Lin Ran then comforted him. So something like that happened, but I know you mean well. It's not like you're trying to lecture me, right? I can totally accept it. Then she offered, want some potato chips? No, thank you. A moment later, Shun Honghe was done fiddling around. The tent is set up, Lin Ran exclaimed in surprise. That fast, at this moment, Shun Honghe came over, took out a thermos of hot water and calmly sat down to make tea. Lin Ran found that action extremely hard to understand. Classmate Shin, I feel that you're a bit strange too, riding such a dangerous motorcycle. Yet you like to drink wellness tea. Isn't that very contradictory? He replied coolly. I ride the motorcycle for convenience. I drink hot water because the temperature difference between day and night on the mountain is very large. It's easy to catch a cold. These two things don't conflict. Then he passed a cup of tea over. Would you like some? It's good for your health. Lin Ran took it and even praised him. I didn't expect a campus god like you to be a little interesting. Hearing this, Shin Honghe was a bit surprised. Campus god. Lin Ran was momentarily flustered and asked back, what's wrong? Am I the first person to call you a campus god? He immediately denied it. No, but this is the first time I've heard someone say I'm interesting. Suddenly, she took out a sketchbook. The scenery is so beautiful. It would be a shame not to capture it. Campus god, can you be my model for a bit? Shun Honghe was puzzled. I can. But what I need to do, just sitting there is fine. After a while, Lin Ran started to draw. Then she turned to ask, are you spacing out? Shun Honghe denied it. No. I'm simulating a puzzle game, first making a preliminary judgment, then starting the deduction. Hearing this, Lin Ran laughed awkwardly. Is that so? There you go again. After a little longer, she said. I'm done drawing. Don't worry. I won't send this picture to anyone. It's just a sketch, so it can't capture the beauty of the sunset. Next time, I'll repaint it with watercolors. Shin Honghe looked at the drawing and said, no need. I think it's already very beautiful like this. The sky quickly turned completely dark. Shin Honghe then looked up some information. I've checked. This is an abandoned campsite. Why did you come here and make a wish back then? Lin Ran was flustered for a moment. At that time, I didn't know there would be a meteor shower here. It's just that. Actually, I was lost at that time. He continued to ask, puzzled, getting lost on a mountain late at night. How did you manage that? Weren't you scared then? No. At that time, I was still making a delivery for a shop. Then Lin Ran began to recount her journey. From the beginning, I was clearly following the directions. The lights on a mountain road were all on. I thought I was on the right path. Before I knew it, I had arrived here. Then I thought since I was already here and the scenery was beautiful, I stayed for a while. Then she recalled a past event, if we're talking about being scared. There was one particularly unlucky time. I lost track of time while looking for a package at the courier station and got locked inside the warehouse. At that time, it was truly so dark you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. In the end, I had to call Qian Yi to help find someone to get me out. Then she hesitated for a long while. To be honest, the stargazing spot we're about to go to is a bit dark. Shin Honghe then asked back, are you sure you want to go? Lin Ran was stunned. Not going? Didn't you say you wanted to do an experiment? Then she suddenly leaned in close. Campus god, you're not afraid of the dark, are you? Lin Ran took out a flashlight from somewhere. It's fine. Look, I brought a flashlight. Shin Honghe was helpless. Thanks, let's go. At 2350, the two of them made their way up there. We're here. This is the place. At this moment, Shun Honghe spoke up. The time you recalled was 11:58, but I checked the weather for that day, and there were no local reports of a meteor shower. Hearing this, Lin Ran panicked. Could it be that what I saw that time wasn't a meteor shower, but he quickly dismissed her thought. Don't overthink it. Maybe it wasn't large scale, so it wasn't reported. It's time. Let's get ready. The two of them wandered around until 12 midnight. As expected, they didn't gain anything, but I wasn't expecting results on the first try anyway. Let's call it a day for now. At that moment, Lin Ran exclaimed, but the stars are so beautiful. Then Shin Honghe said, there hasn't been any news about meteor showers recently. It seems that seeing one on your birthday was just a lucky coincidence. Lin Ran was also speechless. The word lucky, I really haven't heard it in a very long time. Then she changed the subject. You probably saw it at the cafeteria. I really have nothing to do with luck. But being able to see a meteor shower that day was truly a good thing I could brag about for a whole year. Suddenly, Lin Ran slipped. Her whole body fell forward. Shun Honghe shouted, careful. Then he quickly ran over to catch her. Are you okay? Lin Ran said in a fluster. Thanks, I'm fine. She sadly picked up the flashlight. The flashlight seems to be broken from the fall. But I still have my phone. I can walk by myself. Shun Honghe could only say, be careful on your own. Suddenly, Lin Ran's face turned red. What is this feeling? No, wait, thinking about it. After getting back to the campsite, does this mean I have to spend the night on the mountain with the campus god? Suddenly, Shun Honghe spoke up. All right, I was about to say just now. Lin Ran looked back, confused. Then he was reminded of an old woman. The way you go down the stairs is exactly like my grandma. After he finished speaking, An awkward atmosphere enveloped them. Lin Ran's face darkened. What kind of nonsense was I thinking? Inside the tent, Lin Ran sprawled out and looked at her phone. As soon as she turned it on, she saw, why are there so many messages? She opened Qian Ye's message to read. What stage have you and the campus god developed to? Lin Ran sighed to herself. What? We were just doing an experiment. After which, she quickly sat bolt upright. I have to explain it clearly to her right away. At this moment, something suddenly appeared. From outside, only Lin Ran's terrified scream could be heard. She quickly dragged the sleeping bag and ran out. Help, there's a snake. As soon as Shen Honghe appeared, she quickly rushed over and hugged him. Shen Honghe immediately asked, where? Lin Ran said, trembling, it's in the tent. Then Shen Honghe lifted the tent flap to look. Lin Ran, worried beside him, is it still there? Shen Honghe replied as he stepped inside, it's here. But, hearing that, she became even more scared. Is it a venomous snake, or should we go down the mountain for the night? He had to comfort her, and then held out the so-called snake. Calm down, you're too worried. Seeing the belt appear, Lin Ran blushed with embarrassment. Sorry, At this moment, Shen Honghe had disappeared. Where'd he go? Suddenly he appeared from behind. Over here, Lin Ran jumped and exclaimed, were you just teleported again? Shen Honghe nodded. Did you feel like you were about to die just now? Lin Ran blushed, lowered her head slightly, and replied, because of a small mistake, I troubled you again. I feel so embarrassed. Shen Honghe then said, it's a good thing there was no snake. He placed the belt back in her hand. Why feel embarrassed? I'll go check again. There probably won't be any problems. You can go back to sleep without worry. Seeing this, Lin Ran's eyes welled up with tears. Campus God, you're so gentle. Isn't that an exaggeration? The next day, the two returned to school. As she entered the classroom, Lin Ran breathed a sigh of relief. Finally made it in time. During class, Lin Ran sighed. This is so boring. What should I eat for lunch? Suddenly, Qian Yi beside her burst out laughing. Little Ran, Lin Ran exclaimed in shock. Oh my God, why are you laughing like that? You scared me. Qian Yi leaned in curiously. What did you two do last night? Don't hide it. Hurry up and tell your sister. Lin Ran was bewildered. What? I didn't do anything. Hearing this, Qian Yi snapped, still not admitting it. Last night you and Shun Hang. Before she could finish, Lin Ran quickly covered Qian Ye's mouth. What are you talking about? At this moment, the others who heard all turned to look. Seeing this, Lin Ran lowered her voice. I give up. You spread rumors way too fast. What rumors? Don't you talk nonsense. At this point, Qian Yi showed their message exchange as proof back. With the campus god. See, didn't you tell me this yourself? Lin Ran lowered her head in embarrassment and said, after we finished our business, I was too sleepy, so I fell asleep before I finished typing. She lamented internally. I'm doomed. Why didn't I finish typing the message before falling asleep? This is definitely all the belt's fault. Hearing this, Qian Yi, with a gossipy look, leaned in and whispered, you two slept together? Lin Ran was furious, but couldn't explain. I really want to wash out all the chaotic junk in your head with soap. We really just did an experiment, sleeping in separate tents. Then Qian Yi probed, that's the campus god you're always talking about. You're both university students. Why don't you know how to bravely pursue love yet? At this point, Lin Ran became serious. Shen Honghe is indeed my campus god, but I don't feel that way about him. It's purely admiration. Who doesn't admire Shen Honghe? Qian Yi then sighed and said, but that's Shen Honghe. You've known each other for so long. Are you telling me you haven't been moved at all? I really don't know if you're too innocent or too dense. Just then, Lin Ran received a message. Qian Yi exclaimed joyfully, isn't this the design draft from that recruiting company? Ran, you got accepted, but at this moment, Lin Ran had no energy left. I'm too sleepy. Help me add their WeChat. I can't take it anymore. I'm just going to take a quick nap. Okay. After speaking, Lin Ran fell into a deep sleep. A while later, Qian Yi repeatedly called her. Ran, wake up quickly. Lin Ran sat up in a daze, only to hear Qian Yi exclaim in a panic. Something big has happened. Lin Ran asked blankly, what big thing could have happened? Did the teacher call on me? Qian Yi immediately denied it. No, you've been called on too many times before. You've accumulated a lot of daily points. The teacher stopped calling on you a long time ago. Speaking of which, she hesitated for a long while then said, maybe it's even more serious than that. Lin Ran became even more curious. What on earth happened? Stop being so mysterious. Qian Yi's expression was grim. Do you remember us adding that WeChat? We're doomed. See for yourself. Lin Ran took the phone bewildered. What's wrong? A line of text appeared. Manager Lu has patted your head and feels ashamed of being bald. Seeing this, Qianyi could only send a message on her behalf. Sorry, this was changed earlier when I was joking with my friend. After reading it, Lin Ran was petrified and could only utter the word, yeah. Then she cried out in a panic, Yeezy, why didn't you wake me up sooner? Qianyi immediately retorted, how was I supposed to know it hadn't been changed? Didn't I immediately help you explain? Lin Ran thought of that person's image. Her face turned pale. Oh, partner, maybe you should just kick me out of the group. Suddenly, she received something. The other party sent specific requirements for the collaboration draft. Does this mean he's not holding it against me? Qianyi advised from the side, add him as a friend first and give him a proper apology. Lin Ran was completely flustered. She kept rubbing her face. If it were a design draft, I could make him satisfied. But explaining this, I'm afraid this unlucky mouth of mine will only make things worse. That's right. I might as well look for an apology template online. Then she sent a message. XXX, I would like to extend my most sincere apologies to you. Please forgive me. The other side replied immediately. It's a small matter, no problem. But what does XXX mean? Lin Ran was startled and reread the message. I'm doomed. I forgot to edit it. She quickly explained, my phone is broken. The X key is too sensitive, so it just types randomly. The other side messaged back. I thought it was an online template. Lin Ran was now too awkward to speak. I'd better just stay quiet. The other side continued to ask, is there anything else? A moment later, class ended. Lin Ran shouted joyfully, this is great. She threw her arms around Qianyi. Yeezy, my dream is halfway to success. Qianyi, hugged unexpectedly, was startled. Wait, I'm in a team fight. But then Qianyi came to her senses. She was stunned. What, a visit as a designer? Then she continuously praised Lin Ran. You've been longing to get into that company for a long time, haven't you? Maybe you can collaborate again next time. Ran, you're really amazing. Lin Ran was so happy. She was smiling even in her sleep. I have to set 10 alarms. I'll arrive half an hour early tomorrow. Just then, another message arrived. She opened her phone to see it was Manager Lu. What could it be so late at night? Lin Ran immediately sat up. Hello, good evening. A voice came from the other side. Ms. Lin, I'm very sorry to disturb you so late at night. It's like this. Tomorrow there will be 2 other designers also participating, so please bring a preliminary design concept tomorrow. Hearing this, Lin Ran immediately agreed. All right, I'll prepare it. She thought to herself, they need it by tomorrow? Then she turned the light back on. Qianyi saw this and was stunned. Ran, are you pulling an all-nighter? Lin Ran nodded. Have you heard about competition? Qianyi was bewildered. Why are you suddenly talking about this? Lin Ran then explained, Manager Lu just told me. Tomorrow there will be 2 more designers, so I have to provide a more complete design concept. She couldn't stop sighing. I haven't even entered the workforce, and I'm already feeling the so-called competition among workers. I promise to be quiet. I won't disturb you. You go to sleep. Qianyi leaned in close, saying, what's this? The great future designer is still awake. It's the perfect time for me to suck up. How could I miss such a great opportunity? Wait there. I'll go make you a cup of coffee. Hearing this, Lin Ran smiled and called out, hey, if I get rich in the future, I'll definitely support you. Qianyi said excitedly, really? Rich lady, food, hungry. Then Lin Ran waved her hand. All right, I have to start working now. You go get some rest. At 11 o'clock, Lin Ran was still working. At 1 a.m., she was still struggling with her work and only started to go to bed at 3 a.m. The next day, Lin Ran was completely exhausted. Seeing this, Qianyi asked, Ran, what time did you go to sleep yesterday? Your dark circles are about to drop to your feet. Lin Ran replied tiredly, be serious. It wasn't last night, it was this morning. Qianyi sighed to herself. The competition is terrifying. Besides, you're staggering when you walk now. Don't wear high heels. And you're dressed like this. Are you planning to sell houses or insurance? Lin Ran said, you're discriminating against professions. Hearing that, Qianyi rushed over and pinched her cheek. What professional discrimination? I'm discriminating against your fashion sense. Open your closet. Leave it to me. A moment later, Lin Ran came out looking completely different. She said shyly, Yeezy, I have to admit, your clothes are really much better than mine. Qianyi said proudly, of course. You just need to wear this to meet them. The job will definitely go smoothly. Then I'll be off. Okay, when you succeed, don't forget to treat me to a meal. Outside, Lin Ran booked a car, but no one arrived for a long time. Why is the driver at the north gate? Didn't I set my location to the south gate? Shoot, I have to cancel the trip first. Just then, a watermelon seller passed by. Watermelons here, big, round, ripe, and sweet. Lin Ran went closer and asked, Sir, how much are the watermelons? She thought to herself, perfect. I'll give manager Lou a watermelon later as an apology. If he doesn't accept it, I can take it home to eat with Yeezy. Then she carried the watermelon away. This watermelon looked very delicious. Halfway there, the handle of the bag broke, and the watermelon fell and shattered. Lynn Rand stared blankly. Heartbroken, she knelt beside the watermelon. My watermelon, I haven't even had a single bite. Then she recalled the old watermelon seller's words. This kind of bag is very sturdy. It definitely won't break. Lynn Rand was full of regret. If I had known earlier, I would have asked for a few more plastic bags. What a waste. She condemned herself. At this moment, Lynn Rand remembered, oh right, I haven't called a car yet. It seems it's almost time for my appointment with manager Lou. Arriving at the company gate, Lynn Rand stared blankly inside. Is no one here? She looked at her phone again. Manager Lou hadn't sent any reminder messages. Moreover, there were now 2 more competitors. Have I lost this opportunity? Just then, Chinny ran over in a panic. Ran, I got your call, and rushed right over. Seeing Lynn Rand sitting sadly to one side, she approached and asked gently, are you okay? Lynn Rand suddenly threw herself into her arms. Yeezy, help me. Chinny, still unaware of what had happened, asked blankly, what on earth happened to you? Don't scare me. At this point, Lynn Rand grinned mischievously and replied, Manager Lou just replied to my message. It seems I still have a chance, but it looks like it's impossible for him to come back here and give me a tour. So I want you to go in with me to check it out. After hearing this, Chinny was also happy for her. I knew you wouldn't be defeated so easily. So we have to sneak in? Lynn Rand quickly explained, it's not sneaking in, it's accidentally going the wrong way. Chinny reluctantly agreed, all right, I'll go with you. Hearing this, Lynn Rand was overjoyed. Her sparkling eyes clearly showed it. Really? That's great. Yeezy, you're the best. Chinny looked at her, speechless. Mainly, she was afraid this unlucky person would run into some other strange trouble. If they called the police then, she could at least bail her out faster. Meanwhile, Lynn Rand was still chattering on, listen to me, say thank you. Because of you, all 4 seasons are warm. They arrived at the restaurant entrance. Inside, people were bustling about. The 2, also dressed splendidly, walked in. Lynn Rand turned and instructed, after we go in, you pretend to order food, then I'll excuse myself to the restroom. I've seen a promotional video for this place. It's divided into 2 areas. One is the dining area, and the other is a private area with the full garden I want to see. Hearing this, Chinny was startled. What? I've never heard you say you wanted to do this. Lynn Rand tried to reassure her, we'll contact each other by phone then. You try to stall for as long as possible. But Chinny was still hesitant. That's easy to say, but just pretending to order can't hold out for long. Lynn Rand took out some money and gave it to Chinny. If you really can't hold out, just order a few dishes. I brought my wallet. I have to see that design today. Seeing this, Chinny immediately agreed. Since you've had such an epiphany, I'll take the risk with you. You can rest assured. Lynn Rand smiled and said, that's great. Besides, as she spoke, she pointed forward. I've noticed since the beginning, this place would be more beautiful with a bit more greenery. What do you think we should add? Chinny heard this and asked, confused, is now the time to be thinking about this? Lynn Rand thought for a long time. The space here is limited. It would be very difficult to take care of those 2 pots of lilies. But if we let vines wrap around with more greenery, the colors would be softer, and it could also make the space a bit more elegant. Hearing Lynn Rand rambling, Chinny reminded her, Rand, don't forget why we came in here. Then Chinny lowered her voice when she saw the waiter's eyes keep looking over, looking left and right like a thief. Can you restrain yourself a bit? The waiter has already looked at us several times. Then the 2 walked up to a gate. Well, let's follow the plan. Chinny gave a thumbs up to indicate. Got it. Lynn Rand tiptoed inside. She had only taken a few steps when a voice came from behind. Ma'am, do you have a reservation for that side? Lynn Rand's face darkened. She didn't expect there to be security here. Have I failed before even doing anything? Looking ahead, she lamented, victory was clearly so close. Just as she tiptoed, the security guard appeared. Hey, stop. Lynn Rand quickly sped up. Might as well be hanged for a sheep as a lamb. Just charge in first. She reached out her hand with full determination. As long as I can get there, just a little peek will make this trip worthwhile. At this moment, Lynn Rand was also caught by the security guard. Got you. What do you think you're running? She cried and whined. Big brother, what's wrong with me? Can you let go first? I can't breathe. The security guard immediately reported, illegal trespasser has been caught. Currently at the corridor entrance. Come quickly. Hearing this, Lynn Rand was startled. Illegal trespasser? What illegal trespasser? At this point, the security guard began to lecture her. Young lady, you're so young. Even if you're chasing an idol, you should have some restraint. If your parents found out about this behavior, do you know how heartbroken they would be? Lin Ran quickly denied it. That's not it. I'm not chasing an idol. Then she explained, I'm a second-year student majoring in garden design. I only came here because I wanted to see the landscape design inside. The security guard looked skeptical. You mean to say you're a student and you snuck in here not to chase an idol, but to look at the scenery? Lin Ran, overjoyed, thought she was off the hook. She nodded repeatedly. Yes, yes. Seeing this, the security guard became even angrier. Who do you think you're kidding? You people are getting dumber and dumber. Just now, I caught someone who had to use the restroom, but went the wrong way. Lin Ran didn't know how to explain. Did I really think of the same excuse as a crazy fan? Luckily, I didn't use that reason. Otherwise, I'm afraid he would have pinned me to the ground. She hesitated for a long time and only managed to utter the word. Very quickly, two other security guards came and dragged Lin Ran away. She cried out in distress, No, I really just came here to look around. Hearing this, the security guard immediately called the police. Stop with the useless words. I think you'd better explain it to the police. At this moment, Manager Liu suddenly appeared. Lin Ran, what's going on here? Lin Ran quickly cried out, Manager Liu, please help me explain. A few minutes later, Lin Ran recounted the entire incident. After listening, Manager Liu laughed. So that's what happened. You students are really full of energy. Then Lin Ran bowed. Manager Liu, I'm sorry, I was late this morning. At this point, Manager Liu also became more serious. He said, therefore, I couldn't show you around. That would be unfair to the others. Lin Ran could only resign herself and reply, yes. Then Manager Liu continued, but I didn't expect you to dare to come here on your own. Although you were very reckless, I highly appreciate your persistence and effort. I have received your design concept. There's still half a month left. Continue to do a good job. Being praised, Lin Ran was stunned at first. Then she quickly came to her senses and said, Manager Liu, thank you so much. Manager Liu was embarrassed. It's nothing. No need to be so polite. Then Lin Ran suddenly said, Manager Liu, your hair looks so thick, so black and shiny, just like a wig. Manager Liu frowned. This is a wig. At this point, Lin Ran could only say encouragingly, wearing a wig is normal. Besides, this wig suits you very well. You look like you're only 40. After hearing this, Manager Liu quickly said, I'm 35 this year. The two looked at each other awkwardly. Then Lin Ran quickly ran off. I'm going to the restroom for a bit. Excuse me. Manager Liu, on the verge of tears, called out, It's fine. Running into the restroom. The more Lin Ran thought about it, the more embarrassed she became. What was I even saying just now? Her face was gloomy. Even if Manager Liu isn't angry with me, he's so nice, I've really wronged him. Suddenly, someone from behind asked, Wronged who? Shin Honghe walked over. What kind of trouble did you get into this time? Lin Ran turned to look at Honghe. She was about to say something, but before his direct gaze, she hesitated before daring to speak. All right. It's like this. He nodded slightly, seeming to understand her somewhat. So that's how it is. Feeling the atmosphere was a bit awkward, he was about to leave. If there's nothing else, then I'll be going. Lin Ran frantically stopped him. You're leaving already? Wait. She felt guilty for bothering him so much. I'm really sorry for always bothering you. If you're not in a hurry, how about you eat with me? The food here is delicious. Consider my apology. Honghe didn't refuse. On the contrary, he agreed casually. Okay, I'm not in a hurry. When she held the menu in her hands, Lin Ran almost fainted from the sky-high prices. Is this the menu here? Qianyi noticed she had been frozen for a while before glancing at the menu herself. She was on the verge of death. I knew the food here was expensive, but I never thought it would be this expensive. She started to regret her generosity. The two girls began to whisper, Look at your flustered face. The campus god is still watching. At this point, even the campus god can't save you from this. I regret this so much. Is it too late to switch to Malatang now? Qianyi gave Lin Ran a light smack that nearly sent her soul flying. Too late for what? Don't be scared. Then she turned to Honghe and said, Excuse me, we have something we need to discuss for a moment. Lin Ran's eyes welled up with tears, on the verge of crying. To be honest with you, I went around some art supply stores a few days ago and spent all my money. But her friend reminded her of this rare opportunity. You have to seize the chance. You're the one who invited him all the way here. Do you know how many people want to ask Shin Honghe out, but can't? You have to cherish this opportunity. Hearing his name, he replied coldly, Not that many. The two girls looked at him, but he didn't even bother to look up, causing trouble for others again. Suddenly, he closed his eyes, reminiscing about something from the past. It seems this kind of thing isn't for me. Flashback to 1 year ago, at the freshman welcoming party. The atmosphere here was extremely lively. The sound of clinking glasses and unrestrained eating and drinking stirred up the whole party. But he was the only one sitting quietly, watching this scene and looking completely out of place. Feeling that this place didn't seem to suit him, he proactively stood up to leave first. "I'm done eating. I'm leaving now." But some upperclassmen deliberately gave him a hard time. "The upperclassmen haven't even finished having fun, and you already want to leave? Why are the new students so clueless these days?" He tried to ignore it, pretending it wasn't about him, but that upperclassman wouldn't let it go. "I'm talking to you. Stop right there for me." He responded with a frightening calmness, then turned to speak properly. "I already said my farewells earlier. That's polite enough, isn't it?" That upperclassman, feeling that life was too boring, wanted to stir up some trouble and act like a big shot. "Is saying farewell enough? These are all your upperclassmen here. Everyone is still sitting here and you want to leave? What is that if not impolite?" Someone stepped in to mediate between the two. "All right, Junior, just say a few words." But being provoked, how could he hold back? "Upperclassman, you just happened to enroll in school earlier than me. A person like that also calls himself an upperclassman? I wonder if you've achieved anything special yet." The other guy growled, "What do you mean by that?" He lunged forward, intending to resolve the issue with force. "Today, I'll teach you how to respect your upperclassmen." He saw him about to lunge, but had no intention of dodging. On the contrary, he blocked the blow with just one hand. The other guy exclaimed in astonishment, "What?" Before he could finish his sentence, he struck first. "This time, you don't get to act high and mighty." It hurts. Let go of my hand." Taking the upper hand, he lectured the upperclassmen. "Be a little polite. When you beg someone, you should have a begging attitude." After acting tough for a few seconds, the other guy finally had to beg. "I was wrong, all right? You let go of my hand." He flung his hand away and left after teaching them a lesson. "If there's nothing else, I can leave now, can't I?" With that said, he turned and walked away. Goodbye, everyone. From then on, Shunhanga's reputation for being both cold and unsociable spread everywhere. Returning to the present, Lin Ran was curious about what he had said earlier. "Classmate Shun, what was it you just said there weren't many of?" She was somewhat panicked, afraid he had heard about her being broke. "Could the campus god have heard our conversation just now?" "No way. I have to find another topic to change the subject." It seemed she still wanted to prolong the conversation a bit. "Campus god, your skin is so nice. What brand of skincare do you use?" He cut through the awkwardness with a practical action. "I've already ordered." She seemed somewhat resigned. "All right, sorry to have troubled you." Looking at the menu, she wept for her wallet. Seeing her like this, he couldn't bear it and immediately reassured her. "I'll go pay. Do you two want to order anything else?" Qian Yi and she were surprised by his generosity. Her friend teased, "What do you mean there's no relationship at all? He even treated us to a meal." She stammered because this was also beyond her expectations. "There's really nothing. Listen to my explanation." He calmly pointed out the two girls' flaw. "This place is very spacious. I can hear you talking. Next time, you can use your phones to text each other. Don't worry." He added a line straight out of CEO drama. "This is my family's restaurant." The two girls' ears were ringing. His family's? Qian Yu was stunned by his family background. Handsome and rich, too. What kind of novel's male-led is this? Is there really someone who wouldn't be moved by a guy like this? I really don't know what's in her head. She took the opportunity to ask about her architectural passion. "Campus god, could you take me to the grounds of the other private club?" She was extremely interested. "Still thinking about his garden design, are you?" Qian Yu was speechless at her side. This one is a lost cause. Is her head really just filled with rockeries, waterfalls, and trees? He shook his head, declining for an objective reason. "This is managed by my parents. I don't have the authority to decide. Besides, it seems a celebrity has booked it recently, so it's not convenient to bring anyone inside." Lin Ran was a little disappointed. "Is that so?" Meanwhile, her friend was enjoying the drama starring her bestie when she heard Lin Ran still hadn't given up on the idea. "Then would it be convenient for you to take me to meet your parents?" Hearing this sentence made one choke on their water for real. After the sudden proposal and after eating their fill, everyone went their separate ways. But Lin Ran didn't want to give up and pressed on to the end. "Campus god, about what we discussed during the meal, do you want to think about it again?" Hanga gave a vague reply, then turned and walked away. "We'll talk about it later." She watched his retreating back with deep regret, lamenting to her best friend for fear of being misunderstood as wanting to get married. "I.e., do you think I made the campus god angry?" Her friend then explained. "Logically speaking, people normally wouldn't just agree to a request like that, right?" Qian Yi teased. "Isn't this just like wanting to meet the parents but in a different form? Lin Ran's face turned beet red. But I really didn't mean it that way. Seeing that it was getting late, Qianyi didn't want to argue further and pulled her home. If this were anyone else, I wouldn't believe anything they said. Come on, let's go home first and talk later. The next day, whether by coincidence or intentionally, she ran into him again on the school grounds. Seeing him, she was as hesitant as ever. What a coincidence. You're here too. Don't you need to do experiments anymore? He replied, I have nothing to do over there today. You, on the other hand, he didn't stop there and continued to ask. Your next class is about to start. Aren't you going? She was stunned, not understanding how he knew so well. How did you know that? Did you forget? I've looked up your class schedule before. Knowing she couldn't avoid it, she also confessed. Actually, I deliberately skipped class to find you because, from your expression yesterday, I think I made you angry. He confirmed that he didn't mind. I'm not angry. As it happens, I came to talk to you about that. Her face brightened up again. So? Before she could be happy for long, he got straight to the point. I'm sorry. I still can't agree to your request. Lin Ran was disappointed, but still tried to seem optimistic. It's okay. I didn't expect you to agree immediately anyway. After all, that place is really hard to get into. It's good that you're not angry. She lowered her head and continued, but now I don't have any other choice. Instead of just burying my head in the design to finish it before the deadline, I'll work on the design while waiting for you to change your mind. Truly, only she could be this stubborn. People walking by couldn't help but turn back to look. The sound of gossip began to emerge. Seeing the situation, she finally realized the problem. This is bad. They've misunderstood. Suddenly, a chuckle rang out. Hongha had a laugh at her persistence. Her face, already red, turned even redder. What are you laughing at? He regained his usual composure. Nothing. I just feel that your attitude in front of me is a world apart from how you are in front of others. Lin Ran replied nonchalantly, Of course it's not the same, because I see you as a good friend. The smile on his lips suddenly froze. A good friend, huh? Then you don't need to. She knew she had misspoken this time. The atmosphere suddenly grew heavy. She hurriedly apologized. To have presumptuously considered you a good friend, I was rude. Feeling she had lost all face, she turned to leave. I have class in a bit. I'll go first. He meant to call her back, but it was too late as she ran off too quickly. Lin ran while scolding herself. It's over. It's over. How can my mouth be so offensive? The summoning technique matter was already bothersome enough for him. Now I'm afraid he's really angry. In class, Qianyu was also shocked. What? You really said that to Shinhongha? She buried her head in her arms on the desk, unable to cry out loud. It's over. This visit is probably hopeless now. Her friend beside her comforted her. Don't think about the visit anymore. Qianyi asked further, and then? How did the campus god react after hearing that? Hearing this, she still didn't quite understand the question. What other reaction could there be? Qianyi smiled slyly, asking with a hidden meaning. I mean, did the campus god feel a sense of loss when you said you only see him as a friend? She immediately denied it. No, there wasn't. Her face was awkward, not knowing what to say. Don't let your imagination run wild. The campus god has many girls in school who have a secret crush on him. If word gets out, it will be very troublesome. Seeing her like this, Qianyi didn't press her anymore. All right. Why so serious? Her friend leaned back. Fine. I'm too lazy to tease you anymore. In any case, with that dense head of yours, I'm not expecting you to suddenly have an epiphany. The dejected person was right beside her. Lin Ran rested her chin on her hands, looking gloomy. I still really want to visit that private club, even if it's just once. At that moment, the bell signaling the end of class rang. The professor suddenly called her name at the end of class. All right, everyone, that's all for today's class. Lin Ran, is Lin Ran here today? She didn't understand why the professor was calling her name. Yes, professor. Seeing her figure, the professor suddenly looked pleased. I have a very strong impression of you. Your homework was done very well. She replied, Thank you, professor. Just as she finished speaking, the professor said something that made the whole class freeze. Your boyfriend is waiting for you out there. Hurry up and go. Lin Ran was bewildered, with 7,749 questions popping up in her head. Is the professor mistaken? I'm a self-reliant solo player. Where would a boyfriend come from? Qianyi at her side teased her relentlessly. It couldn't be Shinhongha, could it? She immediately denied it. Hey, stop joking. How could the campus god possibly? No sooner had the words been spoken than his figure appeared at the door. She was completely startled. It's really him. What is he doing here? Shinhongha's appearance in Lin Ran's department caused a commotion. Isn't that Shinhongha, the campus god of the physics department? Why is he here? The campus god is so handsome. feeling too many prying eyes on them. Lin Ran suggested, "How about we go somewhere with fewer people?" When the two arrived at a secluded spot, she finally shrieked, "The professor definitely misunderstood just now. Why didn't you explain anything? I'm dead. Now the rumor is about to spread. I'm going to become the public enemy of all the female students." Shin Honghe clearly explained his reason for looking for her. "It's like this. I think I need to explain a few things to you directly. First, I think you might have misunderstood something before. What I meant at that time was you didn't need to beg me to visit the club. My not wanting to take you there was only because I didn't have time, but that doesn't mean I refuse to be friend with you." Lin Ran was overjoyed. "So you mean you want to be friend with me too, right?" He nodded. You could say that." She cheered with joy like a child given candy. "Great. Being friends with my idol is my dream." Seeing her like a child who had just been given candy, he held out a piece of paper with notes on what he needed to say. "Is being friends with me worth being this happy?" She was just short of screaming for the whole world to know. "Of course, this is the happiest thing that's happened to me in days." Only now did she notice the paper. "All right, what's written on that paper?" He pulled the paper back, stuffed it into his bag, and replied, "It's nothing. I'm not very good at talking, so if there's something like this I want to say, I usually write down the main points first." Then he turned to look at her, but now it seems that's no longer necessary. After he finished speaking, he thought about it again. The surprise was still to come. He continued with the second surprise. "Since we're friends now, I'll take you on a tour tomorrow." She rushed forward and hugged him tightly. "Thank you so much." It seemed she hadn't realized her unintentional action. When she came to her senses, she quickly pushed him away. "Sorry, I got too excited." On the contrary, he didn't seem to mind at all. "It's okay." He analyzed her excitement with scientific knowledge. When people get excited, they release too much of the hormone adrenaline, and it's indeed very easy to get agitated. This is a normal phenomenon. Even she didn't expect to be getting an extra lesson outside of class. All right, as expected of the physics department's campus god. However, this trip also comes with a condition for research cooperation. That's right, this time I'm taking you on a tour. You also have to promise me one thing. To be honest, my research paper has hit a bit of a snag. I think it's due to changes in the data, so if I want to get dynamic and reliable data, I need to monitor and investigate. This requires your cooperation. Lin Ran agreed immediately. Basically, you just want me to cooperate with your investigation, right? Of course, no problem. I'll do whatever you want me to do. If he had conditions, she should have them too. But didn't you say it was inconvenient? If it makes things difficult for you, you don't really have to force yourself. He warned her about his mother's enthusiasm. I've already agreed, so I won't regret it. As for any trouble, you'll find out when the time comes. My mother is a bit enthusiastic. She might ask some strange questions. I hope you won't be scared then. The next day arrived. When they arrived, Lin Ran met the restaurant staff from last time again. Don't worry, I understand the rules. I promise I won't take any pictures. I'll just take notes with a pen. Even so, he still reminded her, there's one more thing, that summoning ritual thing. I hope you'll keep it a secret. Hearing this, she was too tired to even speak. Campus God, honestly, even if I did tell people, do you think anyone would believe it? When the staff member saw the two of them, he recognized her. It's you. The other person spoke first. I'm really sorry about last time. Are you here for a meal with your boyfriend this time? She vehemently denied it. No, this is my friend. Seeing him being too passive, she had to pull him along. Don't just stand there dazed. Let's go in. Even he had a strange feeling. Why do I feel like I'm the one being brought here? Stepping inside, Lin Ran was overwhelmed by the architectural beauty. The design here is so exquisite. This was a rare opportunity. She had to sketch it quickly. Wait, I'm going to draw a picture from this angle. The design of this entrance is very clever. He thought all looked the same, so he asked where. Hitting her sweet spot, she launched into a long speech. The wisdom of the ancients, though conservative, is also a kind of beauty. So look, from this angle, isn't there a piece missing? Her mouth didn't stop moving, but he probably didn't understand anymore, just staring intently at this excited girl. But a flaw wouldn't look good, so they designed an additional bamboo grove. Look at the light and shadow between the leaves and the bamboo. It's just enough to fill that gap, right? And there's also the sound of the wind chime outside the eaves. Without realizing it, the two of them had moved very close to each other. Just a little more, and their lips would have touched, but reality pulled them back. Realizing something, they shyly turned away. She flusteredly changed the subject. Can I go out to the garden to see what kind of bamboo that is? He replied, you can. Then when he turned back to look, he saw she was actually planning to climb the fence. Her legs were quite skilled. She jumped over in one go. She could feel his gaze, as if he was about to tease her. What? You want to say I looked like your grandmother just now, right? He found it amusing to hear that. No, my grandmother climbs fences even faster than you. Suddenly, the sound of a camera shutter was heard. A figure behind them was holding a camera, snapping away. There's someone there. He knew who it was without even turning to look. Mom. The woman, though middle-aged, still exuded a rare aura of elegance. Lin Ran was startled when she saw Shun Hong's mother appear. It turns out it's you, ma'am. She then ran over to add, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I came in without greeting anyone." She was about to say more, but the woman cut her off, appearing extremely welcoming. It's okay, you kid, just talk, don't mind me." The playful lady turned back and asked, "You must be thirsty, right? Let me get you kid some water." She was a bit surprised by this lady. "Yes, thank you, ma'am." Lin Ran tried to focus on her professional task of sketching. "Never mind, I'll use this time to draw. It's best to remember as much as I can." Seeing her so focused, he also came over and leaned in for a look, even though he didn't understand a thing. Seeing him, she asked, "Campus God, do you want to try sketching?" Just hearing it gave him a headache, and he refused immediately. "No, I'm not used to drawing without supporting tools, like a ruler, a set square, and a compass." It seems what he was thinking was a bit off track. She had to pull him back to reality. "But you don't need those things to draw a picture, unless it's a technical drawing or a design blueprint." In the end, he concluded with one sentence. "I don't know how, so I don't draw." The conversation seemed to be going nowhere, so she didn't say anything more. Makes sense. While she was in the middle of drawing, her pen broke. The marker ran out of ink. Bad luck usually comes all at once. The spare pen was leaking ink, so it was also broken. After this trip, she'd probably have to rush to a temple to ward off bad luck. Why does it always have to be at times like this? Seeing her like this, he suggested, "Do you want to go out?" She replied without hesitation, "Okay." He offered to help her over the fence to avoid getting her clothes dirty. "Wait, you're on the inside. If you climb over like that, the fence will get muddy. Let me help you." She agreed and held on to him. "Okay, but how are you going to do it?" Without letting her wonder any longer, he took action. "Excuse my impertinence." Just like that, he lifted her up with ease until her feet were safely on the ground. Seeing her trembling, he asked with concern, "Are you okay?" She forced herself to say, "No, I'm fine." Suddenly, a voice from inside called out, "What's wrong?" Shen Hong's mother returned just in time to see this scene. "What was that commotion just now?" Her face suddenly turned stern, questioning her precious son. "Honghe, were you bullying her?" Before he could speak, she quickly defended him. "Not at all, ma'am. I was the one who asked Shen Honghe for help." Taking the opportunity, she also explained her reason for leaving. "All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for letting me in. My pen ran out of ink, and I didn't bring a spare one either. I'll be leaving for today." Hearing this, the mother enthusiastically insisted she stay. "Don't be in such a hurry to leave. I've already had everything prepared. Just stay here and eat today. My treat." She tried to refuse, no need, but it seemed futile as the woman was determined. "You don't know, this boy Shan Honghe has never brought anyone home to visit before. I'm bored to death. Just stay with me. Let's have a meal together." She reluctantly stayed, her eyes glancing towards him. "Then, I'll be troubling you, ma'am." Her plan successful, the mother was also delighted. "That's right." She invited her to follow. "Just come with us." After saying that, she turned to her precious son, meaning she was very pleased. "The girl is really cute. She has the same air I had when I was young." A moment ago, was she about to call you Campus God? He knew his mother's personality, so he explained, "Ms. Lee, it's just a form of address. There's no need to be so sensitive." His explaining was one thing, but whether she listened was another. "Just a form of address? Then tell the girl not to call me ma'am anymore. Can she just call me mom directly?" He calmly replied to his mother, "You can't. You don't meet the conditions to adopt a child. If you want a daughter, you can." Hearing this, knowing what her son was about to say, she covered his mouth first. "All right, stop talking. Sometimes I really hate a block of wood like you. Looking at this rascal of a son, I just want to drag him out by the collar." She instructed him, "Talking to you will make me so angry I'll get crow's feet. You go ahead and lead the way. I'll talk to the pretty young lady." As soon as he walked away, he saw his mother already chatting happily with Lin Ran. Now you know who's the biological child and who's the appendix. He was even surprised by these two. They managed to start a conversation so quickly, as expected of Ms. Lee. Suddenly, she turned to ask Lin Ran, "Oh right, hurry and tell me, how did you and Shun Honghe meet?" Hearing this, her face turned pale and she stammered, One time, I was rushing to class, and then I ran near the barrier at the school gate, sounding like a romance novel. It made the mother even more eager to hear more. And then what? What did you do at the school gate? She calmed herself down. If I tell the truth, I'll lose all my face. The incident of getting my head stuck in the barrier, I absolutely cannot let anyone else know. So she only told a hidden part of the story. We met there. At that time, Shen Honghe was exercising. The mother was also a bit surprised to hear that. Exercising there? Looking at this darn son of hers, she was so exasperated she wanted to stuff him back where he came from. What a fool, using such a method to get a young lady's attention, truly foolish. During the meal, she invited her to come back tomorrow. All right, Ran, your pins are broken, aren't they? Have Honghe bring you back here again tomorrow, what do you think? Hearing such an offer, she couldn't hide her delight. Really? Thank you. Ms. Lee, seeing her like this, Ms. Lee seemed to feel happy as well. Of course you can. After all, I can't resist adorable girls like you. Then she turned to ask for her son's opinion. Honghe, you don't have any objections, do you? She called out to him in a low voice. Campus God, don't you want to observe me? The subject of your observation has come knocking on your door. This will save you some effort, won't it? He lowered his eyes and thought for a moment, then agreed with his mother. All right. Ms. Lee briskly settled the matter. Then it's decided, just as all the dishes have been served. The dishes were served. She had grown very fond of her and kept putting food on her plate. Ran, hurry and try some. The food here is a bit bland. I don't know if you're used to it. Seeing her enthusiasm, she replied, I can eat it. I like bland food. Just as she was about to eat, he quickly stopped her. Wait, he looked at her and casually asked, don't you like spicy food? Could the information on the questionnaire be wrong? The meal began with Shen Honghe's meticulous observation. The content on the survey you gave me is all true, right? If the information is inaccurate, it will greatly affect the results of the experiment. You can't be careless. Falsifying it will make the results useless. She quickly reassured him, I know, don't worry. I didn't hide anything or lie to you at all. Let's just eat first for now. Ms. Lee sat observing their interaction and felt it was lacking a spark. Has their relationship become this intimate already? I must prepare something really good for them tomorrow. And so, the next day, she sat diligently drawing her design sketches while he read his own materials. Only Ms. Lee was watching them, not expecting this situation. The progress wasn't quite right. Why aren't the two of them interacting at all? At this moment, her eyes furrowed. He turned to look and saw that she had fallen asleep without him realizing. Shen Honghe brushed a leaf off Lin Rant's face. Just then, she suddenly woke up and looked up at him, the proximity so close it startled her. Still in a daze, he was the one to turn a romantic moment into a practical one. There was a leaf on your face. I was afraid you might accidentally swallow it, so I helped you get it off. She knew she had misread the situation, so she just said thank you and left it at that. Suddenly, his phone rang. As soon as he answered, he knew who it was from the voice. Ms. Lee was making an excuse to leave to create some private space for them. Son, I have something to take care of here. You take her to eat first. The place has already been arranged. You have to be hospitable to her, understand? He just replied perfunctorily, yes. She was too used to it to say anything more. Hanging up now, he suddenly became suspicious of his mother's strange actions. Since when did his mother become so productive with her phone calls? Seeing her curious expression, he explained, my mom called to tell us to eat first. It seems she has something to take care of. She nodded and then suggested to him. Then I'll take you for spicy hot pot. My treat this time. Lin Ran felt a bit awkward for constantly asking for favors without reciprocating. Although the food here was delicious, the price was too expensive. How could she ask for help and then have him pay for her meal too? Shen Honghe heard this and was somewhat interested, but not significantly, then led her to an even better place. Spicy hot pot. I've never had it before. Although it sounds a bit interesting, everything has been arranged for this time. Follow me first. Suddenly, a strange fragrance wafted from somewhere. As she walked, she asked, do you smell roses? He nodded. It is quite fragrant. They continued walking until they stopped in a room. We're here. This is the place. She couldn't help but gasp. A piano was placed in the room. She saw a scene straight out of a romance drama, like The Butterfly Lovers. Is someone planning to confess their love or propose? Hearing this, he asked back, how did you arrive at that conclusion? He had hit on her area of expertise, and she explained in one long breath. In dramas, usually with a romantic candlelight dinner, a dim atmosphere, and a violin, the male lead's confession won't go well. It's either rejected or some plot twist happens. This method has been outdated for a long time. Logically speaking, people nowadays wouldn't use a method like this. Just then, he stood up and said to her, "What a strange conclusion. Sit for a bit. I'm going to the restroom." A musician from his staff approached and asked, making Lynn ran extremely flustered. "Miss, may I ask what song you would like to hear?" She replied, stunned. "I didn't order this kind of service. Isn't there some mistake?" Hearing this, the staff member was now doubly stunned. This is the right table. There's no mistake. But his mind worked extremely fast. "I understand. It must have been ordered by your boyfriend." With that, he ran off to prepare most thoughtfully. "Don't worry. We will definitely prepare everything perfectly for you too." She tried to call after him, but was too late. That's not it. In her confusion, a familiar tune began to play, and she recognized the song. It was the Butterfly Lovers again. 1,000 questions with no immediate answers ran through her mind. It can't be. Why would the campus god play this song for me? At this rate, the more she thought, the more her head spun. It's not going to turn into one of those chaotic scenes, is it? Just thinking about it was embarrassing. At this moment, when she looked up, what met her eyes was him, panting in front of her. She blushed, covered her eyes, and asked, "You're back? Why didn't you say anything?" Right now, she just wanted to dig a hole and hide. What am I saying? I was clearly the one who waved him over. Just then, the staff member from before also approached. He tried to reassure her. "No, I wanted to say..." Before he could speak, she spoke first. "I'm sorry." He reassured her and went to resolve the matter. "I'm just going to wash my hands. I'll be back quickly this time." A moment later, he pulled the staff member aside to question him. "What on earth is going on?" The staff member explained, "It was ordered by President Lee." Hearing this, he immediately understood the problem. "I see. This is just a misunderstanding." As he returned to her, he didn't forget to tell the staff, "I will clarify things then. You all can leave first." In a luxurious hall, Lynn asked worriedly, "How did it go? Did they misunderstand something?" He also explained to her, in short, everything has been resolved. Only then did she breathe a sigh of relief. "That's great. I felt like I was suffocating just now." But from a distance, a familiar woman was walking towards them. Isn't that Auntie? Accompanied by a not-so-friendly gaze. Why does she look like she's not very happy? She walked over and asked her son in a stern voice, "Hongha, were you pulling some hooligan stunts in the private room?" At times like these, he could only remain silent and endure it. Ms. Lee scolded her son relentlessly. "It's useless for you to pretend to be deaf and mute now. That violinist has already told me everything." Seeing her scolding him so harshly, Lynn stepped forward to explain, "Annie, you've misunderstood. Actually, just now it was because..." She was about to continue when she turned and caught his gaze and expression, signaling her not to say any more. Seeing this, she made up a somewhat humorous reason. "It's because at that time his fly was down, so after I reminded him, everyone misunderstood." Ms. Lee asked with some suspicion, "Is that really so?" The more she heard, the more she gave this son of hers another thorough scolding. "You really? How could you forget to zip up your pants in a situation like that? That's not right either. When you zip up, you should turn your back to everyone." Seeing the things had calmed down, he explained, piggybacking on her statement, "Mom, I dropped something there. I had to go back and get it." "Drop something?" She looked at this son of hers. Why was he so strange today? He had never dropped anything before. At this moment, she, at his side, spoke up to explain, "Actually, it was me, Andy. I think I accidentally dropped a pen, so I wanted to ask classmate Shun to take me back to look for it. I'm sorry for troubling everyone." This mother was worthy of being called a Gen Z mom. Her ability to switch faces was second to none. So that's how it is. One should speak gently to one's own child and be a little different with the extra one. Hurry up and take her back there to find her thing. I have something to do, so I'll be leaving first. With that, she turned and left, leaving space for the two young people. Once everything was settled, she turned to suggest, "Let's go, I'll go with you." He was somewhat surprised and asked back, "You didn't drop a pen?" She giggled, "I was just kidding. For today's drawing, I brought all my newly bought pens. If I had lost one, I would have been worried sick by now. I just thought you seemed to want to go somewhere." As they walked, she teased him, After all, it's a once-in-a-blue-moon occasion. But, campus god, it seems to me you don't lie very often. Next time, remember to think of an excuse beforehand, or you'll be easily exposed. Hearing her say that, even he was surprised. I also didn't expect. His weakness was exactly her forte. Without missing a beat, she offered, it's okay. I'm very good at making excuses. From now on, just leave this kind of thing to me. Seeing her so enthusiastic, he then got to the main point. Then I'll have to trouble you to make an excuse for me. I want to check the security cameras. She heard him, but didn't quite understand. Why do that? Your family's club's restroom also has. It seemed her imagination was about to run wild when he pulled her back. What are you thinking? No. His face was cold and full of suspicion as he explained to her. I want to check if I suddenly appeared in this VIP room. Also, whether the camera in the hallway shows me going to the restroom. For some reason, she was very interested in this case. So that's what it is. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go quickly. A moment later, the two of them stealthily pushed the door open and entered. In front of them were two people monitoring security. She was the first to speak. Hello, I'm a classmate of Shun Hongha. She explained further, I want to find something I lost. Could you help me check the security cameras? The other person didn't know who she was talking about and asked back, Shin Hongha? Who's that? I've never heard of him. At this point, she didn't know what to say when he stepped forward holding card. Sorry to bother you. We can look for it ourselves. Someone in the business would recognize it at a glance. Business department? Go right ahead. Where did he get a staff card from? The first step went quite smoothly. Everyone gathered around the screen. Do you know how to use it? Or just tell me where you need to look and at what time. I'm more familiar with it than you are. He refused immediately. No need. Thank you. That man still insisted on offering, but it looks like you guys don't really know how to use it. Only she was suddenly terrified at this moment. All sorts of scenarios ran through her head. What if the camera really recorded something? If the security guard saw it, she'd be dead. She had to find a way to divert their attention. Suddenly, a loud noise rang out, drawing everyone's gaze. For some reason, she started playing the part of blaming him. It's all your fault, she said, hitting him lightly while crying like a pouting girlfriend. If you hadn't insisted on arguing with me, I wouldn't have lost my things. When are you ever going to change this temper of yours? Don't the things I say mean anything to you at all? Do you want to break up with me? The two bewildered young men stepped forward to mediate. It's normal for young couples to argue. That's right. If you lost something, you can take your time to find it. It's okay, we can help. Truly an artistic person suited for acting. She explained her reasons without noticing he was watching the camera. Then just let him look for it. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have lost my things. Sir, you know what? He really has so many bad habits. I'm about to not be able to stand him anymore. So that's how it is. These kinds of things are hard for men to handle. Don't cry. My wife gets angry every day. It's incomprehensible. She suddenly changed her tone as if becoming a different person, which even scared the two men. Girls always have a reason for getting angry. Or how about, I help you two analyze a bit. Really? Thank you so much. Now she played the role of a teacher, distracting these two men so someone could work. Great. Now no one was paying attention to him anymore. She continued to ramble. I think it's not easy to find someone you like and who also likes you back. Everyone needs to learn to cherish it. Just be honest and admit your mistakes, then fix them. Until he walked over and said, I found it. And just like that, she dropped everything and ran. That's great. Sirs, we'll be leaving now. Oh my God, my throat. At this point, the two men were just beginning to suspect they had been tricked. Wait, what's wrong? On the contrary, the two of them even stepped forward to advise. You two shouldn't argue anymore. I can see your boyfriend is a gentle person. Although he's a bit quiet, he was willing to check the cameras with you. And he spent so long looking, you shouldn't be angry with him anymore. Since she was acting, she had to see it through. She hugged his arm and replied to the two men. Yes, I'm not angry with him anymore. Thank you, sirs. He looked down at the girl who was rambling, but it was also thanks to her that he found it. All right, my love, let's go eat. Once outside, it was as if she had just stepped out of her role, and it was also when she turned back to ask him, so, how was it? What did the camera record? As they walked, she asked him, did it record anything? He also explained clearly to her it did record something, but it only captured me in the hallway. During the time the summoning spell occurred, for some reason the signal was interfered with. Except for me, no one can prove that I went to the restroom instead of going directly back to the table. Suddenly her face grew worried, thinking back to that moment when she heard that song again. This summoning spell is truly amazing. As long as its flaws aren't exposed, using this direct method of deception will be easier. His face was cold as he continued. Even the camera couldn't record it. The clue is lost again. Suddenly she spoke up, her hands grabbing the hem of his shirt. I'm sorry. Hearing this, he didn't understand what she was saying. As for her, she blushed shyly and avoided his gaze. I wasn't thinking much at the time. I didn't know it would be inconvenient for you. I swear I only glanced. He looked at her state and found it hard to say anything. It's okay. Since it's come to this, there's no need to bring it up again. When they arrived, Ms. Lee opened the door to welcome them. Ran, come in and sit for a while. This time she refused vehemently. Ms. Lee, I just remembered I have something to do. I won't come in. She was also a bit disappointed. Is that so? But her curiosity was high, so she still wanted to ask her no matter what. What were you two talking about so happily just now? Hearing this, her heart skipped a beat and sweat poured down like rain. Could Ms. Lee have heard about the summoning spell? In the end, her refusal was there, but not very significant. She still went into the house and sat down obediently. Ms. Lee spoke up, let me go get some water. As she handed over the water, she said tactfully, Ran, Hanga might be a bit slow, but he's not a bad person. She also reassured her, Ms. Lee, I'm really fine. It was just a misunderstanding. Saying that, she quickly changed the subject to something else. That's right, Ms. Lee. Just now, did you hear what we were talking about outside? Hearing this, she thought for a moment, then replied, wasn't it about that? I thought you were still angry. At this point, she tried her best to change the subject as quickly as possible. Starting another conversation with Ms. Lee, yes, that's right, it was about that. We already cleared it up just now. Putting everything aside, that's great. It seems I haven't been exposed. As if remembering something, she turned to ask her, that's right, Ran, didn't you say you dropped a pen? Have you found it yet? She nodded in reply, yes, I found it. She then curiously asked what color she had dropped. What color was it? She replied with a sentence that for some reason made the guy next to her choke on his water. It's black. Once again, she knew she had said something wrong and quickly corrected herself. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me clean it up for you. Ms. Lee on the side laughed. She found her to be a very interesting young lady. You might not believe it, but I rarely see this child with such rich expressions. Every time she mentions her godforsaken son, she feels he resembles someone. This child, Hanga? He hasn't liked to talk since he was little. Later, he lived with his father for over 10 years, and his personality became even more withdrawn. If I didn't chase after him every day to ask how he was, I would have suspected this child was mute. Remembering the years when he was a handsome teenager, his father and I divorced early on. Some things happened, and later when I brought Hanga back, he was in the 8th grade. He didn't like talking to others. At first I thought he just hadn't adapted, but later I found out he felt those people were too stupid, so he didn't want to talk. As she spoke, she glanced at the person sitting next to her, wondering if it was really the same person. As if unburdening herself, Ms. Lee poured out all her thoughts. You've probably noticed. He's not good at getting along with others. Although after starting university, his roommates are also very good. But you're the first girl he has ever brought here, and with this personality, I really like you. Then she suddenly took her hand, overjoyed as she looked at the girl her son had brought home. This boy only becomes lively when he's in front of you. If you don't mind, please hang out with him more. You will always be welcome here. Before anything else, she had already taken out a family heirloom jade for her future daughter-in-law. This is our family's heirloom bracelet. Ms. Lee, this isn't appropriate. He and I are just good friends. Not that kind of. Before she could finish her sentence, she had already put it on her wrist. You've misunderstood. She then explained about this bracelet. I mean to say this is a jade bracelet passed down from our ancestors. I just want to give it to Hanga's friends. Our family became wealthy from these jade stones, so I prefer to give things like this. Hanga's roommates also all have emerald Buddha statues like this. So that's how it was. After hearing that, she knew she had made a fool of herself again. I actually thought it was like in the movies, giving a jade bracelet to a daughter-in-law. What on earth was I thinking? Time passed just like that. 2 days later, after grinding away at her deadline, she finally finished. I'm done. Chinyi at her side couldn't help but praise in awe. You're getting faster and faster. Lin stretched her stiff bones while telling her friend, well, I had ideas and reference materials, so of course, the productivity would be higher. In a bit, I'll check it one more time myself. Can you help me see if there's any plagiarism or any similar designs? If not, I can submit it. Okay. Suddenly, the sound of a phone message was heard. Chinyi wondered, why are you suddenly so busy? She just denied it. Not at all. My friend texted me to say that the closed training session is about to end, so they're just asking me to go eat then. She recalled the person Ran had mentioned before. Is it that childhood friend who's a sports student you grew up with? Ran smiled and said meaningfully, I'll treat you guys then. let's go together. I wanted to introduce you guys to each other before, but never had the chance. Those words made her friend blush a little, huh? Chinny got all flustered, then I have to go buy new clothes. That's right. Should I wear daily or monthly contact lenses? Ren almost didn't recognize her friend anymore. Yi, is it necessary to be so dramatic? At this moment, only Chinyi understood how important appearances were. You don't get it. You don't know how much appeal those two words sports student have for me. A guy with sun-kissed abs. That's exactly my type. The more she spoke, the more it piqued this friend's curiosity. That's right. What does he look like? Is he handsome? How handsome? Is he tall? How tall is he? But she didn't expect that letting Ran describe him would be useless. He looks okay, has 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, no more, no less. As for his height, probably about as tall as Shun Hongha. Her friend angrily went over and pinched her cheek. Hey, your description is too ridiculous. Where did you learn literature and drawing? She also explained her predicament. It's been a long time since I saw him. I really don't remember clearly anymore. Chin, you was 1 step away from giving this girl a beating. Such a good idol drama female lead card was completely wasted by you. The 2 girls were so engrossed in their conversation that they forgot about someone else. Ran suddenly told her friend, Shun Hongha also sent me a message. I was busy with the design, so I forgot to reply. This innocent statement made Chin freeze. Huh, Shun Hongha? She began to speculate. What did he text? Did he ask you out to eat or to a movie? Ran read the message and replied. He did ask me to go out, but to the laboratory. Ran turned a romance story into a dud with a splash of cold water. Even Xianyi found these 2 people hard to understand. Hey, maybe this is the romance of science students. The text message exchange where Ran replied to him. I was busy with the design earlier. My phone was off, so I didn't see the message. Sorry, it's rare to see you take the initiative. Okay, if you're not busy anymore, I wonder if you're free tomorrow morning. Done, but wait. He snatched the phone back, knowing this little imp was up to something. Why did you take my phone without permission? The other person refused to back down. Brother Shun, I'm helping you. He opened his phone to see what the little imp had texted. Then he sent another message. My roommate took my phone just now. Are you free? In less than a minute, the other person replied. Both of them eagerly waited to see her reply. I'm free. That's right, my design was approved. I'll treat you to a meal sometime. Okay, let's finish the experiment first. See you at the lab tomorrow morning. With things more or less settled, his friend couldn't stop complaining. Brother Shun, talking like that will make her feel like your main purpose is the experiment, and that eating is just something convenient to do along the way. He replied, it was just convenient. Is there another way to put it? You couldn't be bothered to listen to him anymore, feeling like your role as a strategist was useless. But you shouldn't have been so obvious about it, should you? It's rare for a girl to take the initiative to ask you out for a meal. If you don't like her, you could have just rejected her outright. But his reply was strange. It was neither an affirmation nor a complete denial. It wasn't that he didn't like it, but a mistake still deserved punishment. He chose to punish his friend with a deadline. Is your lab report done yet? It's due tomorrow. And also, from now on, don't reply to messages on my behalf again. The next day, the date arrived. He led her into the laboratory. We're here. After saying that, he went to put on his coat. His hair was slicked back, looking as sharp as Dan Truong. All he was missing was a Winx transformation. She, on the side, couldn't help but marvel at his evolution and transformation. Campus God, if you wore a pair of gold-rimmed glasses right now, you'd look exactly like the classic villainous hooligan disguised as an intellectual from the movies. He wasn't even sure if she was complimenting or criticizing him. A hooligan disguised as an intellectual is a negative term, isn't it? Hearing that, she immediately protested. In some special contexts, it's a compliment, I swear. If I'm talking nonsense, may the client torture me with endless revisions of my draft. With that, she glanced down at what he was scribbling. In the end, they settled on the first version. She looked down at his handwriting, which was also, well, it's hard to say. This notebook isn't called Lin Rant's Observation Notebook, is it? He smirked and asked her back. There's no title. Do you want this one? She immediately shook her head in refusal, but it was obvious she really wanted to keep it inside. No. I was just thinking that something this important should be transferred to a notebook with a lock. Otherwise, if someone else finds out about this, how would we explain our relationship? Lost in conversation, she finally looked around. But you've been observing for so long, you must have collected almost enough data, right? He replied curtly, not yet. She walked over to him, smiling as she spoke. It's okay. Take your time. This whole thing is really surreal. If it hadn't happened to me, I would never have believed it, no matter what. He looked down at her, grasping the main point. Are you comforting me? She looked away, not knowing what to say. Anyway, if you have any problems, just ask. I'll answer honestly. He just nodded once and turned back to read his documents. Looking at the stack of papers, she was a bit stunned. I've consulted some people in the social sciences about a few issues, but it seems none of it was useful. Reading it felt like she was chanting sutras. Views on policies regarding new energy vehicles. The number of social science books read by university students each year. Campus God, are you sure these aren't your disguised social science friends who slipped you this, hoping to use this opportunity to get me to complete their survey for them? Even he had to sigh. To be honest, I'm not very knowledgeable in this field either. He admitted frankly, compared to researching other things, researching people is truly too difficult. She just stood by his side, watching him in silence, then suddenly spoke up, her tone shifting slightly. I feel that if you're always thinking about the task, you'll feel constrained. Every word and action seems to be tied down. Do some things really have to have a result? Hearing her question, he turned to her. What do you mean? She continued, everything will have a result. It's just a matter of sooner or later. Or maybe you can put the word observation aside for now. And then she regained her cheerful demeanor. Since we're already friends, let's just get along like normal friends first. That's a research method too. He liked this, agreeing with her idea. That makes sense. Sometime later, after she finished, she went to practice skateboarding. Qian Ye's voice rang out beside her. Once you step on, you have to move. What's the use of just standing on a skateboard? She got on, terrified. I don't dare, how do I move? Qian Yu was exasperated, but could do nothing. Why on earth did I have to go skateboarding with someone as unathletic as you? Seeing her friend like this, Lin Ran still tried to plead. You already agreed, and besides, I didn't learn how to skateboard last time. I have to learn it this time for sure. Her friend was furious but helpless. I advise you to be less delusional and accept reality. Over on his side, the friend who was being pressured by a deadline was still enthusiastically shipping the couple. Isn't that Lin Ran? Out for some sports? Seeing the two of them, she explained. Just getting a little practice. As she spoke, that friend noticed something at her feet because it looked familiar. Wait a minute, why does that look a bit familiar to me? And then he realized she was the girl from the other day. Before, there was a student who bumped her head into Brother Shun while skateboarding. I think that was you. Hearing this, he flinched and instinctively backed away. She tried to salvage her image. Probably not. You must have remembered wrong, right? But in her head, she was silently cursing him. Shenhangha, do you have to be like that? That friend knew he'd found the right person and turned to tease him. Don't worry about that. Meeting is fate. It just so happens that Brother Shun and I were going to play basketball. Want to come along? Qian Yi cut in. No thanks, I still have to teach this kid how to skateboard. But that friend's words were like a lifeline for Qian Yi. It's fine, Brother Shin knows how to skateboard too. You can have him teach her then. The opportunity had arrived and couldn't be stopped. Qian Yi immediately made way. That's a kind offer, go on, let's go. Lin Ran was completely bewildered. What? She never expected her friend of so many years to be this kind of person. I.e., you're a traitor. Qian Yi could only accept it. Later, Lin Ran would understand that everything she did was for her own good. Ran, my abilities are truly limited. I can't teach you. Changing coaches is good for both you and me. On the bustling basketball court, where the boys' match was taking place, our guys' team was taking the lead. Specifically, he had gotten the ball. The hoop was right in front of him. All he had to do was shoot. Watching from the sidelines, she couldn't help but be amazed by his incredible skills. In the decisive moments, he got past his opponents. If there's one thing he had, it was height. And the ball went through the net. His teammates erupted. It's in. His friend came over and slapped his shoulder, as expected of Brother Shun. However, he didn't forget to tease him for neglecting a certain young lady. But actually, Brother Shin didn't need to be on the court today. His mission is to teach student Lin how to skateboard, you know? Hearing that, she shyly averted her gaze. He had been watching all of her actions. Finally, drenched in sweat, he walked over and asked her a rather random question. Why is your face so red? Asked so suddenly, she stammered in reply. The sun is too strong. Why is it so sunny today? Then she handed him some water. Here, all right, are you done playing? He took the water bottle and replied to her. I'm not playing anymore. Tian Shang said you might be very bored. Let's go. I'll take you skateboarding. I'll teach you. Although she was happy to be taught by him, she still felt it was hard to say. Campus got about that. She was quite hesitant to ask him like this. Let me be frank with you. My motor skills are a problem. Teaching me might easily make you angry enough to get high blood pressure. Saying that to him only earned her a blunt reply. Have you been checked at the hospital? At times like these, she didn't know what else to say. That's not it. It's just a hyperbole. Even so, a feeling of shyness mixed with anxiety still filled her. What I mean is, you need to be a little patient when you teach me. Or maybe we shouldn't waste your time. Thankfully, his reply was a bit kinder this time. I use my time to do things I want to do, and it doesn't affect others. As he took out the skateboard, he continued, I don't think teaching you is a waste of time. Hearing that, she was moved to tears. Campus God. Without further ado, he asked about her skill level. All right, what do you know how to do? Looking at the skateboard, she described her ability. Easy taught me how to skateboard before, but I've completely forgotten. He had been paying attention earlier, so he already knew where she was at. It's okay. I saw you standing on the skateboard very steadily just now. At least you know some of the basics. Hearing that, she just wanted to run away and hide. I'd rather you forget about that. With that, he began to instruct her. Let me demonstrate for you. Remember to watch my foot movements carefully. He did it in one go. A person with natural athletic talent is truly on another level. Then he turned to ask her, so did you see that clearly? She saw it, but when it came time to do it, it was a different story. She stared with wide eyes, but was afraid she still didn't understand. What just happened? How did you just slide and get all the way over there? Hearing that, he suggested, then let me do it again. So he kept sliding back and forth in front of her. Did you see it more clearly this time? She replied, even though she knew she didn't understand a thing, more or less. Seeing that, he told her to practice. You try. And so, she slowly stepped onto the skateboard. One foot on here, the other pushes, right? He guided her from the side. Pay attention to lowering your center of gravity. Don't rush forward too quickly. Feeling it was okay, she began to practice. Here I go. She hadn't been cool for more than a few seconds before she lost control. This time, she was definitely going to fall. Luckily, he had been watching her the whole time, so he managed to rush over and hurriedly catch her, but somehow, she accidentally pulled his shirt down. He was only slightly flustered, but his expression didn't change as he reminded her, go a little slower. She knew she was at fault and apologized. I'm sorry. He reassured her, it's okay. Keep practicing. I'll hold on to you. With him by her side, she was willing to keep practicing. Okay. And so an afternoon passed. It seemed that under his guidance, she had become much more proficient. Qian Yi and Tian Chung walked over and asked, still practicing? Ran. Not bad. You can skate now. Qian Yi teased. It seems this new teacher is much better than me. Lin Ran quickly changed the subject. All right, it's time for dinner. Shall we go for Malatang? My treat. Suddenly, Tian Chung cut in. It's not that I don't want to eat, but I've never seen Brother Shun eat things like Malatang. Well, it's still Shun, but the old Shun. This Brother Shun is different now. Very quick to agree. Okay, even he was surprised. That's not right, Brother Shen. In 2 years, I've never seen you go to the food streets near the school. You said they weren't clean, so why now? Everyone understood the implication. Chin even gave Lin Ran a meaningful look. Perhaps now you understand the whole issue. When pursuing love, you have to give up some of your principles. Brother Shun, I support you. Seeing this group of people spinning a story that was getting out of hand, he finally pulled them back. Did you play basketball until you lost your mind? What nonsense are you talking about? And so, the whole group went off to eat. Let's get going. This would be a really great group of friends. What kind of wonderful encounters will the boys and girls have in the future? This episode of the story ends here. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like and a share so I have more motivation to make more videos. Remember to follow to watch the next episodes. Wishing you all a day full of energy.